Okay, so today we are going to talk about hobbies and also about like cultural festivals or traditions, both in the area that you're currently living, if you are aware of any of those, and or those that you may have participated in where you lived in Ukraine as well. So we'll just kind of go through talking about some different, start with talking about hobbies and the ways that we share, or not share, the ways that we spend our free time, things that we like to do. And I put this list in the homework sheet so that you have access to that as well there. But this is, and it's definitely not, a full comprehensive list, but an idea of some types of hobbies that people can participate in. And so it goes all the way through. So we have collecting, arts and craft, model and electronics, performing arts, music, food and drink. And I think that was, yeah, pets and games are in there. And then we get into individual sports, team sports, martial arts, outdoor activities, board sports, motor sports. So all kinds of different sports that are available. And again, this is definitely not comprehensive because, there is Pilates and yoga. Okay, I didn't remember seeing them on there before. So yay, those are covered as well. At the bottom of this is an exercise that you can do, and taking these words and placing them into sentences. So you can do that on your own to practice if you would like. But so as we get started, first want to talk about what your hobbies are, and then we'll look at some phrasal verbs as well that go along with hobbies. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second. And Elena, what is one of your hobbies?
I don't really have hobby. Studying languages, is it a hobby?
Pilates is your hobby now.
Oh yeah, Pilates, Kakas Pilates is my hobby.
Good. Would you say that the gardening and landscaping work that you do, would you consider that part of a hobby? Is that how you got into it, because it was something you enjoyed doing as a hobby?
Yeah, yes, I would say, but I do it professionally also,
Right.
but I love what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I also like posting photos of nice gardens and talking about gardens and parks of different countries and post it on social net. I don't know, is it a hobby? I don't know.
Yes, it's hobby. Because it's like a job,
so.
but somebody pays for you for this.
Yeah. I would say it's a combined hobby and profession for you, because it's something you do to get paid for, but you also do things that are related to that you're not paid for, and you do it because you enjoy doing it and sharing that information for people.
Okay. Volunteering is also a hobby.
Yeah. It can be. Volunteering can definitely be a hobby. Some people turn it into a hobby in doing the different types of volunteering that they do in the, whether it's doing what you did with the garden, it's teaching, whether it's teaching English or like teaching Pilates, or it could be volunteering with like homeless shelters or pet shelters or different kinds of things like that. So I would say that type of volunteering could also be considered a hobby. Yeah.
Is hobby kind of a work you do for pleasure, or it's activities that you do for pleasure?
Normally it's activities is how we would describe it, but I think if you're talking about recreational activities versus things that you enjoy doing and volunteering for, I think it can encompass both. So, but I think technically a hobby would be a recreational activity that you do in your free time. And then volunteering or other work would be separate, but I don't see that there's a problem to combine that and think of it the same way as well. Unless you're taking a test, if you're doing an IELTS test or something, they're going to want it separated. Yeah. Okay. Marina, what are your hobbies or a hobby that you have?
As I understand, I understand from your speech, everything that I do apart that sleeping, eating, working, it's my hobby.
Okay.
Pilates too.
In
Right.
this case, I have a lot, or I used to have a lot, but now I'm not sure if I can continue them, because one of my hobby was gardening in my dacha. It's like a countryside house, countryside area.
Mhm.
And now I am without this hobby, but in general, I don't have a lot of time for hobbies. But anyway, I think some kind of sports is my hobby. My favorite sport is figure skating. And sometimes I try to to remind myself how it is, but it's not so so often happens to me now. And what else? Running.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with figure skating, can you do like all the jumps and the twirls and everything, or is it just more like basic ice skating?
I used to jumping. now
Okay.
even to turn some turns, yeah, make some turns, but now it may be only half of only 118 something like that. But anyway, I can how can I say, jump, so I can lose my connection with ice. It's already
Right. Okay.
Float.
Interesting.
There is
Yeah,
an image
awesome.
in Pilates, you are floating above the
float.
ice.
Yes.
That's amazing. I love watching figure skating on like with the Olympics and things like that. I've always enjoyed watching that.
Yeah,
but I've never been very good at it.
I used to watch as well, but in previous time it was like art of skating, and now it's completely different. It's sport. It's only scores, and now it's not so amazing as it was now.
Yeah.
But it's not dancing anymore. It's like
No, they are dancing, but anyway, it's like they are constantly looking for their scores and not pay so much attention as it was before.
Much more athletic.
Right.
I think we just may have lost her there for a second. Okay, hopefully she'll come back and there you are.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. we missed some of what you were saying.
Yeah, I noticed that everybody is frozen.
Yeah. So what I was saying with that is that it seems to be a much more athletic, like gymnastic almost style of figure skating today. Like what Katya was saying, not as much emphasis on the actual dancing portion of it, but what amazing feat can I do to increase my score or something? Yeah.
Yeah, now it's breathtaking because they can, our young girls, they can turn 4 times, make 4 turns. It's
right.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Thanks. Margot, how about you? What's a hobby that you have that you enjoy doing?
Sometimes I do yoga. Actually, I like photography and
photography.
Yes, and in past I did some screenwriting and acting, maybe something like that.
Okay, so it's screenwriting. So you've written for plays that have been produced?
No, with guys wrote a idea of TV show, and we wrote a pilot. For its first series, yes,
Episode.
first episode, yes, and we actually do the Bible of the TV show, and didn't work. Actually, we have to go on studios uh, to sell it. Yes, and this is war started, so it didn't happen
Okay,
because of
I understand. Yeah. Yeah.
it was TV show.
Well, that is very fascinating, though, to have written a screenwrite that. It's cool. Maybe someday it'll happen.
Yes, I hope.
Maybe someday. All right. Kalinka.
About me, my specialization in university was technologist and designer of clothes, but it never was my profession. But it has became my hobby.
Okay.
Even my favorite hobby, lovely hobby. But I should admit, then I was a student. I hated it because compared with other my friends, which also studied in university during vacation, they came to home and just relax. But when I came to home, I have a list from my relatives what they want to I created for them, so for them some clothes. So, and also I have complicated figure, so usually I try to buy some elastic clothes, but if I buy not elastic clothes, usually I need some repair to make it fit to me. And this hobby, yeah, this hobby helps me relax, be calm. When I came to Great Britain, first, which I asked in charity organization was, when they ask me what do you want, I say, I need a sew machine.
Yes.
And
Nice.
I ask in some charity organization, and now I have 2 sew machines.
Well, you might need 2 of them.
Yeah. And also I have almost all stuff, additional stuff to sew, but
Awesome.
unfortunately, and it helped me very well in the first months when it was already difficult and nervous period for me here. But now I haven't time to sew.
That is really awesome. I also have a complicated figure, so I understand that. And I have to have clothes tailored every now and then for me as well. I can't just buy something and then immediately wear it. I almost never can do that. And I'm always jealous of people that can just go buy stuff. Either my roommate in Mexico, we could go to the secondhand market, and she could just pull something out and immediately put it on, and it just fit her perfectly. Like she just had that type of figure. Not me. I'm like, oh, it's like it's too tight here, it's too big there, it's too long, it's too short, whatever. Nothing ever seems to fit right. So I definitely get that.
Yeah,
Also wanted to mention it's the pronunciation is clothes.
Clothes. Yes.
Clothes. Yeah. So we don't really pronounce the E. The E just tells us in how to pronounce it, because if you have this word, it's cloths. So cloth or cloths. And then the other with the E is clothes. But the E is silent. Okay.
Mhm. Do you remember the film Only Girls in Jazz?
No,
No.
in English, it's another
not the
name.
same
In English,
name.
girls like hot.
Hotter.
Hot.
Somebody likes hotter. Or
Maybe. And this film, there
Marilyn
is
Monroe
a
style.
dialogue between girl and man, which in girl clothes. And the main actor, she said, "You have so beautiful figure. It's very easy to you to sew clothes for you." No, because it's man figure.
Right. It would be really nice if I had that. If I could grow a couple of inches, that would be even better. Katya, what were you saying the name of the movie is?
In that movie, Marilyn Monroe was starring, and it's called Women Likes Hotter,
somebody likes hotter.
or Somebody Likes Hotter. Yeah, Somebody Likes
Okay.
Hotter.
The only one I can think of was Some Like It Hot. That
Yeah,
she
maybe
would do.
some. Yes.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But the Marilyn
I'm
Monroe.
pretty sure that you know this movie. It's when a man pretended to be a woman in order to be in one band with Marilyn Monroe because he wasn't in love with her.
Okay, I will definitely look that up and maybe I'll watch that.
Some likes it hot. Yeah.
Some like it, yeah, some like it hot. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
In Krakow, we even have a cafe with such names. So
Awesome. I have seen that. It's been a
Some
long
like it
time.
hot.
So
I
I
think
will
that
watch.
this song is from that movie. I wanna be loved by you.
Yeah.
No, no. I'm
That's Gentlemen
that's
Prefer
my
Blondes.
mistake. She sang this to American president, but there is a famous track there in that movie. I will remember when maybe I will see.
Okay, no problem. All right, Katya, what is besides, okay, let's say besides Pilates, because we know Pilates is both your hobby and your profession. So besides that, what is one of your hobbies that you enjoy doing?
There are two of them which already exist, and another one I would like to have as a hobby.
Okay,
so
that was going to be my next question. So go ahead.
I will start from the future hobby to be. I think that piano playing can become my hobby. And as I already presumably mentioned, I took one class. So next week I'm waiting for another one. And I would like to have this activity as a hobby. When it takes on the two other activities, one of them is reading human designs charts. Yes, charts. They're called charts or body graphs.
Okay.
And from time to time, I'm posting like predictions. They're not predictions, but these are topics of the week, according to the different planets. For example, last week, it was the period when everybody was pushed to, just give me a second to think how to translate it into English. Provocation. Is there any word in English when we trigger someone, so we
Trigger someone,
act
yeah.
or do something to trigger somebody to reveal the emotions.
Mhm.
To prompt, to set off, to provoke.
To provoke,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Provoke, yeah. Mhm.
Provoke is the best option.
Yeah.
So that was the the previous week was the week, actually this week, because it's not over yet.
Mhm.
When everybody was tend to provoke other people or being provoked by themselves to
Okay.
reveal different emotions. Usually these emotions are so-called negative, and we needed the spirit in order to throw off the masks and to become ourselves.
Mhm.
It's not a prediction, it's like the topic of the, it's
Right.
called transit. I'm not sure if I want to continue to follow with this like tradition, this custom to post this information on my Instagram page, because people actually think that this is like making prophecy, but it's not.
Right. Right.
It's like
Yeah.
tarot cards
Mhm.
predicting future. It's something different.
Mhm.
And even more, to be honest, I decided that I was sticking to this method, to this science too much, that I forget that I have to live my own life, not to stick to something so
Right.
much.
Right. Right. That is a very good point. Yeah. I had my palms read several years ago when I was in India, and one of the people that I was with afterwards reminded me that to not have that reading as a self-fulfilling prophecy, that I still was in control of my own life and my own outcomes. But it was still very interesting to have it done. And a lot of that has actually come true, which has been very interesting. But I don't think about it until afterwards. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember him saying that this, was something. So, yeah, I think it's important to not have that self-fulfilling prophecy in there with those things.
The main point, or the main reason why I was sticking to this method, or this study, or the system, you can choose your own word, because people usually need something to feel safety, to find their own corner of safety.
Yeah.
And peace. And from time to time, they I'm talking about myself, that it's me. I don't know how it's going on with all of you. So at first I was involved into Pilates so much that I thought that everybody needs Pilates. And actually it's true, but it doesn't mean that Pilates is the only one part of my life. There are a lot of other spheres, areas, and parts of my life. And I got to know about this human design, and it's true, it works very well, and it explains myself, and this is one of the approaches to work with my subconscious. So who I am, why I'm reacting in such a way. But finally, maybe even because of the war, I involved into the process so much to find the answers why the war is in Ukraine, and I found the answer. How is it related to the rest of the world? What my mission, what my goal for life, and I found all those answers, and then I understood that I was in pursuit answering the questions.
Right.
And
Makes
I
sense.
forget just living through my life, every moment of my life. So I'm still hesitating if I want to continue this hobby or I want to get rid of it. So I like
It will all come to light before
It's a
long.
pause in my hobby. And the second hobby, it's actually just a second. I want to use very intelligent phrase. Turned up. It's turned up that it's very useful hobby because it helps me to communicate with my son. It's coaching. Last year, I studied and graduated from Coaching University. It's an international organization. They pay coaches all over the world. And now using this approach, coaching approach, which is actually to be human and to be aware of my own feelings, my own body, and to see, hear, and listen to another person, and not to push him or her. This is the main principles of coaching. Nowadays, it helps me so much with my son because he is a teenager.
Yes.
And I cannot be his therapist, I cannot be his psychologist, but at least I can be together mom and mom with coaching way of thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that completely. I've also considered doing a formal coaching type of course at some point. I've also considered doing yoga, becoming certified as a yoga instructor, but more just for myself, not to actually like teach, but just more for me to understand more about my own body and, you know, that kind of thing. So
that happened to me with coaching. I did it for myself. I wanted to.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so I think my hobbies outside of doing yoga and teaching, because those are yoga is something I do for a lot of different reasons, and teaching is obviously my profession. But with you guys, it's a volunteer position that I do because I love doing it as well. But travel and reading, those are probably two of my biggest hobbies that I have. And travel involves everything from, you know, planning and watching videos of other people traveling and reading travel books and watching movies about travel and all that kind of stuff too. We'll do quickly, we'll do this. What is something that you would like to start as a hobby? If you have, and not everybody may have one, but does anybody have anything that you've been thinking that you would like to start doing?
Ali, can I ask beforehand, before answering the question, is watching movies considered to be a hobby or no?
That's a good question. I think it is more of a recreational activity. It's more of a leisure activity, not necessarily a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would classify
I'm good at watching movies, and I had been watched so many movies. Oh,
yeah,
my son.
I would say I would classify it as a leisure activity, not as a hobby. But I mean, I could definitely see that it could be a hobby if that's all you're doing as well. So I think during the pandemic, a lot of people may have had watching movies and TV series as a hobby during that time. Possibly. Okay. Anyone have anything that they would like to pick up as a hobby, or something that they would like to do, or maybe something you've done in the past, but it's been many years and you want to restart it?
Last time I thinking maybe I should devote some time to development my cycling skills.
Okay.
Because I mentioned then that I have some ability a little. For example, 2 weeks ago, I lost my glasses. And I visited the supermarket, and I don't know why, but I lost my glasses. And with friends, we decided to go back to my way and check everywhere where it's possible may I lose my glasses.
Mhm.
It was a very long way to the supermarket because supermarket almost in the I would say
Outskirts?
city. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
On the outskirts.
And outskirts of city. So we went. We of course didn't find anything. Visited supermarket again, and when we come back, I mentioned that one man sitting near the road, like he draw some tattoo, some pictures, a painter, some
Mhm.
painter. And
Okay.
I came to him, and girls asked me, Lena, why do you go to this homeless person? No, because he's sitting on the ground. It's like a homeless person. And I asked him, excuse me, I lost my glasses. Maybe you have seen. And he asked me in black frame. Yeah, I said yes, in black frame. And he gave me these glasses.
Oh. Well, he had found them. That's good.
It's like miracle.
Yes, that's nice. Good. All right. Anyone else have anything that they would like to take up? Any other hobbies?
I'd like to say that actually I would switch my watching movie to hobby. I think it depends on what goals you have watching movie. If you just randomly watching everything you met, it's maybe not a hobby, just leisure. Yes, leisure.
Leisure.
But leisure.
Leisure.
Leisure. How can I say?
I think leisure.
I think it actually might be able to be pronounced both ways. I'm going to look it up.
Leisure. Yeah.
Leisure.
Leisure.
Like pleasure, but leisure. Yes, it's quite controversial.
Okay.
So the British, I think the British pronunciation is also slightly different. So
Leisure.
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 Leisure. Yeah. In
Yes,
English,
but
we say leisure in English and leisure in British. So that's the difference. Yeah.
yeah, but in case you try to making sense of moving, so for example, you are divided movie to some some types of movie, or you are looking for certain director, movie director.
Movie
Yes?
director. Mhm.
The director, it's already its hobby because you make sense of all this.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I would like to have such hobby, but
Okay.
when I have time.
When you have time. Yes, exactly. I understand completely. During the pandemic, I started doing puzzles, and I
right.
found that I really love to do puzzles, but I haven't done any in probably the last year and a half. I haven't really done a puzzle, and I would love to do it again. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll go find some puzzles to work on here
How
soon.
pieces? How many pieces do you have in your the biggest puzzle?
The majority of them that I was doing were 500 pieces, but for Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the year before, my sister-in-law gave me one that was 1,000 pieces. And my niece and I actually spent a week working on that one, putting it together. And if I hadn't had her helping me, it probably would have taken about 3 weeks or more to do it.
Marie, but after you collect all pieces, what do you do with this picture?
We just we take it apart and put it back in the box and maybe do it again later sometime.
No,
At some point I would like to, but like I don't have a space of my own, right? Because I travel and move around a lot. So at some point in my future, maybe I might take them and make them into pictures or something. but for now, I just put them back in the box. So yes, Marina.
You remind me my own experience with puzzle. We also bought a puzzle for 1,000 pieces, and it was puzzle of Eiffel Tower, and
nice.
then it was view of Eiffel Tower from certain place. And when we came to Paris after, so we spent a lot of time. It was two months to cast to put this puzzle together. And
right.
after that we cover clue on the back of this puzzle and put them on frame. It's now it's like big picture on the wall with Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
And when we came to Paris, after that, we found this place and make a picture of from the same place, but only already with us on this picture. And when we return home, we put this picture near the puzzle on the same wall. Now it's like history.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would like to, the one that we did that was 1,000, it was actually a map of the world, but it was one of the old style maps. So like in the brown colors and, something that you would have seen from, hundreds of years ago or something. So I'd like to do that one again and then frame it, because when I did have a house with stuff in it, all of my decorations were the old world map things, decorations and stuff. So sometime in the future, I'll do that again for sure. All right.
May I speak?
Yes, of course.
So I want to come back to the movie watching again, because for me, it's actually a hobby. It's not leisure activity. Yes, sometimes it's leisure activity, but sometimes no, it's not like leisure activity. Usually it's like, the conversation in my head. An angel says, yes, it's a leisure activity. And the devil on the other shoulder is saying, no, it's your hobby. So maybe it's actually a hobby, because every time I choose the movie on purpose, because this is my way to live through my emotions. So I'm a highly emotional person, both sides. So I can be either too happy and hilarious, or deep down. Yes, I can be very stressed and angry or sad. Not depressed, because I'm not I try to stop at some point when I understand that this is the edge, and if I do another step, I will be in depression. So in order to prevent to be depressed, I choose a movie. And with this movie, I live through with a main character as if it's my own life. And I cry when they're crying, or she or he are crying. And basically, this is a movie watching movie can be some sort of healing as well, because there is even a therapy based on watching movies. Because yes, you can watch it for pleasure, but you can watch them for purpose. And look at this process as if you are a main character, and notice what is going on with you while you're watching this movie. So there are a lot of different questions you can answer to yourself, of course, if you need. But for me, it works. So that's why I think that it's my hobby. And
what kind of movie do you usually choose for this purpose? Is it romantic or horror or
horror? I'm sure it's horror.
Why not?
When I was younger, horror movies and horror style was one of my favorites. because there is a reason why we're watching horror movies. So the main idea of the movie is to persuade us that their reality is our reality. And when the main characters they survive after the horror and terrific evil, they survive, and you survive with them. And it means that there is something is happening with your neurological system. You live through some fears and you survive, and it gives more confidence. So it's useful to watch horror movies from time to time. But if you ask me the recent topic I have been chosen, yes. Choosing, yes, I've been choosing. It was how to live through.
Oh, and we lost her right as she starts telling us about it. Sorry,
Maybe because
Katya,
it's still important.
we lost you. Katya, your sound.
We lost you for some time.
You said
yes, it's I understand why it's happening. That's because it's still maybe important. That's why the devices are reacting. So the recent topic was how to live through splitting up between men and women. So yes, I think it's some sort of romantic but drama movies.
okay.
But the topic before was which was important for me and highly crucial. It was how not to give up when everything is so bad.
Yeah, very relevant right now, for sure. So I found an article that is talking about movie watching. Is it a hobby or an art? So I put it in the chat, but I also sent it to you guys in the Telegram group. So you can take a look at that as a good argument for it being considered a hobby. Elena, I wanted to ask you about the link that you put in the chat as well.
Yeah, this is what Katya was talking about, this film.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. And okay. Going to music or going to concerts and listening to music. Yep, that's a good hobby as well. Perfect. Okay. Let's look at this article here on some of the phrasal verbs that we can use when talking about hobbies. Okay. So Marina, if you'll read the first one and with the meaning and the examples.
Just a moment. I just lost a bit. Meaning, if to be something, if you are into something, you are really enjoying it. Example, yes?
Yes.
When I was young, I was really into my stamp collection. I took it really seriously. He is really into his football.
Okay. So you say, I'm into, so Katya could say, I'm into watching movies, or Elena can say, I'm into listening to music, something like that. Okay. All right. And Elena, can you read the next one?
To take up, meaning to begin, to start a hobby. For example, I'm bored, nobody to play with, nowhere to go. Why don't you take up a hobby? After enjoying taking photographs for a few years, I've decided to take up photography as a serious hobby.
Yes. Okay. Any questions on either of those two?
No, they look familiar.
Okay. All right. Kalinka, you'll read the next one.
To join in, meaning to take part in an activity. Example, I saw some guys playing football in the park and ask them, can I join? Can I join the spin class? I don't want to train alone.
All right. And Katya, could you read the next one?
To sign up,
Yes.
meaning to enroll or register for something. Example, I've decided to sign up for a gym membership to prepare for my cycling season. Only 10 students signed for the debating society last year. Oh.
And enroll is spelled wrong. It should be 2 L's. So ENROLL. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So Katya will have people sign up for her Pilates classes, or you can join in on a class or something like that, or join in on an event. I got right before class started, my brother messaged me and asked if I wanted to go canoeing with them tomorrow. And so I can say I'm going to join in with the canoeing tomorrow with my family. So yay.
I hope it's not dangerous.
It shouldn't be. I am actually concerned. I don't know where we're going, but we haven't had a lot of rain. So I would think that all the rivers are kind of low right now. So yeah, it may not even be that fun to do, to be honest with you, if there's not a lot of water around. But the idea is that
what is the river? What is the river for canoeing? Are you planning to use?
I'm sorry, can you ask that again?
What name of the river for canoeing?
I don't know.
In your area?
I don't know. He hasn't given me any of the information. All I know is he asked if I wanted to go and I said yes. And that's all that I know. I don't know what time we're going. I don't know where we're going. So I'll let you guys know on Monday where we went, and I'll find them on the map and everything and show you. So
it's a surprise.
It's a surprise. That's my family though. That's normal for us. And yeah, well, it's normal for them. It's not as normal for me. I'm the type of person that likes to have the details set, and the rest of my family is more about just kind of, they will have the details set, they just don't share the details with people. So I like to share the details.
Is it for purpose, or they just like keeping secrets?
It's just a communication error that they have. They're just really bad at communicating and always have been. So it's one of those things I've learned. I've learned to live with it. And if I feel like I need to know more information, I will ask specific questions. So I've had to learn how to ask specific questions to get the information that I need for whatever it is that we're doing. So yeah.
My congratulations. I was saying congratulations, you are the coach, because being a coach means ask proper, right questions.
Right, ask probing questions. Yes, that's what I do. Okay, Margot, will you read this one, please?
To get into something.
Yes.
Meaning to become interested in something. Example, many people decide to take the step to get into the running each year. Many people got into cooking during the lockdown and learn how to make bread.
All right. Marina, with the next one.
To turn up, meaning to arrive for an activity or event. And for example, I turn up in the gym every day. I train hard and I see results.
So I can say, I'll turn up tomorrow for canoeing, whenever it is. All right. Kalinka, the next one here.
To keep up, meaning continue to action that we are started. Example, previously I have found it difficult to keep up going to the gym. I have to continue to go to the place to keep up our interest in photography. To keep up means to keep you interested alive.
Keep your interest.
Interest alive.
Yes.
To keep your interest alive.
Elena mentioned language learning earlier, and this would definitely be one that you can use. You can use it with a lot, but it's like to keep up a language, so that you can remember, any languages that you've learned. So that is something that I've been doing recently as well. And Elena, I do consider language learning as kind of a hobby as well. I think it's a necessity in certain situations, obviously, but I think that it can also be considered a hobby. There are definitely people in the world who just learn new languages just because they want to, for fun. It's not because they need it for anything. So yeah, I would consider that a hobby.
I'm a person who had such a hobby, who used to have such a hobby.
Yeah, I've just started this one as my hobby.
I used to learn English for hobby.
Yeah, you learned English for a hobby, and now it's a necessity in your life, right?
So all my hobbies become
necessities. Yeah, that's okay.
It's not honest,
okay.
not fair.
Elena, the next one, please.
To back out, right? I mean,
yes.
it's the opposite of keep up, to leave, to withdraw, to lose your interest. You're not probably too happy with the gym, the equipment is a little bit old, maybe you don't get along so much with the people there, so you decide to stop or to back out. Example, running was really not for me, so I decided to back out.
I don't hear this one as much used with hobbies as with other types of events and agreements. There's a fly in here, sorry. So like I could say tomorrow morning I may wake up and decide to back out going canoeing with my family. Or if I make plans with a friend to have dinner or to go to an event, then she might back out on me, which means that she can't go or she doesn't want to go or something like that. So I don't really hear it as much with hobbies as with just kind of everyday life things that we have. All right. Well, I don't want to be friends.
Let's be friends.
Okay. I have enough friends. I don't need to be friends with Harry. So okay. Katya, so it's two of them, to pack in and to give up.
They mean the same thing. Are they? To pack in, to give up. I know give up. I am not sure with to pack in. Meaning to stop, to quit. These two phrasal verbs really mean the same thing, but we use them in a slightly different way. Example, why did you back in the gym? It's a long story, but I really couldn't afford the time that I thought I could. Why did you pack in the photography? I'm sorry, I didn't understand the meaning. Where's this packing or give up?
Yeah, so
yes, why did you pack in the gym? Now I've got it. Why did you pack in the photography? I gave it up because it was boring. There was nobody there my own age. Okay, so there are all the phrasal verbs connected with hobbies. That's something else.
Okay. Again, I don't really hear to pack in used in this way. I hear it more in like you want to end an event that you are involved in. So again, I'm going to use the canoeing as an example. So at the end of the day, after we finish canoeing, we'll be like, all right, let's pack it in, which means like we're done. Let's get everything, set back onto the truck and the trailer, and everybody grab their things, and we're going to leave. So we're basically, we're ending our time in canoeing. If you go to an outdoor festival or something, you might say, let's pack it in after you've been there for a couple of hours. Let's pack it in and leave. It's possible that this to pack in is used differently between British and American English as well. So that may be part of it. I think more common is to use the terminology to give up something.
Can I comment on this packing, give up, just to check if my understanding is
Yes.
correct? For me, when I'm in my head, in my mind, I'm trying to translate them. They sound the same, so it's the same word, so like stop. But
Right.
I think that you explained correctly. When we pack in, it means we stop doing right now, but it doesn't mean that we stop forever. Whereas to give up for me is something to like my let's imagine that I will stop posting human design stories or posts.
Yes, I gave that up. Right.
Then I give up forever. So I won't come back to this anymore.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's the way I view it as well.
I see. So for now, I'm like, I have just packed in with it, but I'm not, I didn't give up.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Any other questions on any of these phrasal verbs?
But regarding give up, in Navy Academy in USA, I saw the huge logo on the wall, never give up the ship. So it's another meaning? Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
basically it means like don't stop, like never give up. So just don't stop, don't quit, keep going, keep pushing yourself.
Don't
keep trying.
surrender.
I thought that never, I cannot say it in English, maybe I say in Russian and you can help me to translate. Ну, никогда не сдавай корабль, сдавай, вот из...
Не сдавайся. Не сдавайся. Тут имеется не сдавайся.
Yeah, but give up in this meaning, it's different meaning for give up for phrasal verb, or do you think it's the same?
I think give up has got two meanings. This is very common to see in the examples, give up smoking. So it means that you stop smoking forever or for some period of time when you decide that you want to smoke again. And the next or the second meaning of give up for me personally, it means don't surrender. Like try doing this again and again. Right.
Yeah, if you say don't give up, that means like to continue doing something, to keep pushing yourself to try harder and harder to do something. So like don't give up language learning, don't give up learning English, don't give up with Pilates or yoga or cycling or something like that, or trying to cook.
Is this the same with capitulate? So regarding the ship, it means capitulate, never capitulate from the ship, actually, yes? But with hobbies.
No, it's the message to the Navy.
Yes.
Not to the ships. So you soldiers, don't give up.
Right.
Yeah, don't capitulate. Don't capitulate.
Leave. Yes, for them it means don't surrender, don't capitulate, don't leave your ship. But
leave the ship. Yeah.
It's ship when it's the in terms of living, surviving.
Yeah, in this case, this give up and another give up regarding to hobbies, it's two different give ups.
Not really. It's still saying don't quit. It's still the same. It's just in a slightly different context, but it's still saying like don't stop being on the ship. Don't stop, or like don't quit being here and doing your job as a soldier, kind of thing. Yeah.
And the result will be different. When you give up being on the ship, it means that you either become captured by the enemy or even die. Whereas when you give up,
it could be very long.
Yeah. Or you could have been like, no,
you will survive definitely.
I mean, you could always possibly if you're a soldier, you could say, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, and walk away. But that is very highly unlikely to happen if you are a soldier. So, all right, Elena, you're sending us more information here in the chat. What
What
are you?
is it?
Yeah, from my music hobby, there is a song, Never Give Up. It's such a wonderful life. You all heard this song.
Yes, yes.
Never give up. It's a wonderful. Yes, it was their first single.
Nice. All right, I will listen to that later. All right, so we're coming to the end of our class. We didn't get to the cultural events, but that's okay. We will have time on Monday to do that. So we'll plan to share at that time about cultural events, maybe that are around you that you have already attended or are looking forward to attending in the future in your new homes. And I would be interested in hearing about any that you were involved in when you lived in Ukraine as well. And we also on Monday, we'll talk about cultural shock. And
Already had
Oh,
cultural.
we have a lot to say about
Yeah,
cultural
right.
shock.
So we're going to talk about that and, and what that means and how we handle those kinds of things when moving into a new community. I'll be honest, I actually have had more problems moving back to the US than it's like reverse cultural shock that I have coming back to the US after being in Morocco, Vietnam, and Mexico. I adjusted really well in those communities. And when I come back to the US, I don't adjust very well. It takes me a while to adjust. So I'm one of the weird people, I think, that has the reverse cultural shock that is in there. But we will talk about that. The other thing, I mentioned this in the last.
Well, share with us why it was so complicated for you to adjust to
We'll talk
coming
about
back
it on
home.
Monday.
It's
Yeah.
your
Mhm. We'll talk about it on Monday whenever we're in that conversation. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely share with you for sure. So I mentioned last Friday also that we will have certificates for you all that those of you that have completed the majority of the classes. So that's all of you here that are in the class today, plus Valeria as well, because she's attended the majority of them also. So what I will do, I'm going to put a note in the Telegram group later. What I need for you to do is to send me how you want your name listed on the certificate and everything too. So that way you will have this, you can add it, onto your CVs, have it, available for, whatever usage that you need it for as well. The other thing, I don't have a lot of information about it right now, but I will by Monday or at least next week sometime. They are starting a speaking club as well for students. Once you finish this course, then there will be a speaking club that will be available. And I think that will start in August. So there will be a little bit of a break in between. They're trying to get everything organized and set for that. And a list of topics and things. So it'll be very similar to some of the days that we've had here where we just talk and share ideas and things like that. But more information about that will be coming out to you as we get everything set into place. Does anyone have any other questions or comments that you would like to ask or to share?
On Monday, this is our last class, yes?
Yes. Monday will be our last class. Yes. Sad.
Will we have virtual wine
No,
party?
no, not right reaction.
I'm sorry, Margot, can you say that again? I understand, Marina, it's supposed to be the crying one and not the laughing one. So no problem. Margot, I'm sorry, can you say that again, what you're saying?
I don't know. Maybe when you said that it was said, I said, yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Maybe we should, each of us have like a celebratory glass of whatever it is that you want. It could be wine, it could be water, it could be coffee, whatever like that. And we can celebrate with that or in a cookie or something if you guys want to on Monday as well at the end.
Yes, I think it's a good idea.
I think so too. I will definitely miss you girls for sure. So
Elena, we can meet.
definitely,
We can meet at the bar.
yeah.
Monday.
I might be able to make it
Oh,
over there
it's close.
someday. Who knows?
I believe that you will be free already.
But we do still have, we will always have the Telegram group. We can stay in contact with one another that way as well. So I do encourage everyone to do that. But we'll talk more about those kinds of things on Monday. You guys, I hope you have a fabulous weekend and enjoy. And I guess that is all for today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye,
Nice
everyone.
weekend. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.